Welcome back, everybody, to Unconditional Surrender, me, myself, and I playthrough of the main event scenario. As I stated before, at the end of the first part of this episode, I'm just going to pick up right here in the German attack, trying to cut these things down into like 30-minute or so chunks. I find that this is actually my third run through of this turn because I have broken the rules like 6 times trying to get things done really fast. So I'm slowing down and splitting up the videos to make sure that I don't do things incorrectly. So the next attack is going to be the German 17th. He's going to attack the Russian 8th. I will only be +1 because I'm coming across the river. DRs are good enough for me here because he'll lose a step if I get him, so that's why I'm kind of attacking here. And that should be another one. And I said I was going to do this at the beginning. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This guy makes 8. 9, 10, 11. So I've spent 11 from 28. So I should be at 17. Right? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep. So counts right for once. Yeah, I was actually cheating myself out of a point there. Okay, so +1 to 0 on the 8th Army here. I'll highlight him. Get my timer going. All right, here we go. +1 to 0. Let's see what we get. 3 + 1 is a 4. And he rolls a 5, so he laughs at me. I have 5 movement points left, so I'll spend another 3 to try and get him flipped for the other guy down there. +1. 5 + 1 is a 6. Oh, good. And he rolled a 1. Oh, that's not good at a 6. No, it's not. It's a DD. Oh, my. I thought I was just going to have a flipped Russian, but the DD result, first thing you have to do is flip him, and then he doesn't have a legal retreat route. So down goes the willpower by another point, and onto the faction card this guy goes. I've lost 4 armies and a shock army and a city. I'm not going to take that hex because I can have the 8th army here go 1, 2 through Kharkov into that rail line and attack this guy 3 times and maybe get another will point out of him. So I'm going to do that. 1, 2. Let's take off another point here. We're going to attack the 4th. We have 6 movement points, or 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 movement points left, sorry. I'm +2 and he's +0. Do I want to try? I need to look at the map here. If I use my other tanks marker, I run the risk of losing Leningrad if he rolls really well on the first combat. But, if I lose this infantry unit here, I really don't have a lot of infantry to move to plug the hole. This could get... Do I have an infantry under here? Oh, I do have one under there. I have one in Moscow. I've got 5 dead guys on the plant, on the thing, and I want to hold Leningrad, I guess. Right? That's the right thing to do, right? Hold Leningrad. Yeah, we're going to let it go on the first one. 2 to 0, +2 to 0. Where Germans roll 4 + 2 is a 6. The Russians roll a 2. So that is a DR, which makes me be -2 because I'm flipped. At this point, all the tank would do is save me maybe 1 time, and he has 2 attacks, so he's going to probably get me either way. I'm just going to let it go. All right, so +2 to -2. He rolls a 4 + 2 is a 6 again. I rolled a 3 -2 is a 1, so down my willpower goes. And onto the track I go, or eliminate box. 6 armies in a city. Not good. And he would be able to take the hex here. He only has two movement points left. So like he could advance a hex, or I could go like 1-2 and be sitting here. I think that's just inviting me to get into one of those German infantry isolated and killed points. At this point, I have kind of a pseudo line that's pushing forward to the Don, the other side of the Don there. So I think I'm just gonna cool it, just be there. I might move this Romanian out of the way, though. And I think the Romanian's kind of... he's a weak link here. He could attack and then run around and try to capture Kursk, sacrificing the infantry to make me turn back to kill him. So let's do something about that. That'll be a Romanian point. We'll do that later. Okay, we gotta try it. It's not real good. It's not the best odds, but first army activates, goes 1, 2. Then our army activates as well. So that's 2 production points. Takes me down to 14. Bring up the faction card over here because there's going to be lots of stuff going on. We will go to... they are both assaulting Leningrad, so I'm not going to bother putting assault markers down. We're just going to go and do it right now. So the Russians definitely are going to commit because they have 2 tank markers. I saved them for this very purpose. So they're going to be throwing in the tanks. The Germans are going to throw a tank in on the Nor infantry over here. So starting off, he's +2 for being German, and then he gets +2 for tanks. He has a buddy, so he's +1. Then the Russians throw one in and they get +2. Okay, now the Germans can throw in a heavy artillery for another +2. And then they can throw in their... oh, and then they get +2 because he's isolated. So they're at +9. I could throw in the airplane to get to +10. He's at +2. I need to try and get him down on the first try so that the tank marker on the second one doesn't actually give him pluses, just evens it out. So I throw in the airplane, and you'll go, wait, Cred, that's +11. You're not allowed to do that. Well, it's the modified combat die roll, and when you subtract 1 for attacking the city, I'm at +10. So I can do that. So it's +10 to +2, but the +10 is halved. Let's see what we roll. A 5 + 10 is 15. Halved is 7.5. Rounds up to an 8. The Russians get a +2 on their die roll. 4 + 2 is a 6. And if I remember right, an 8 to a 6 is a diamond. So it didn't work. There will not be a second attack from like the 1st Panzer to try and finish him off or whatever. So that makes me not a happy person. But there isn't a lot I can do about it. I do have to spend 1 more production point on the 14th to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just runs around on the rail line to plug up that hole again. So that didn't work. When we go to the turn track, let's put this stuff down a bit so we can get it back up on the turn track. The Germans have to roll for their heavy artillery. It's not coming back in forever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not till December, so dreams of capturing Leningrad are out the window here, pretty much. So now I'll have to designate someone to watch it all the time. Okay. That is pretty much the... oh, I didn't take off the other... I think I should be down to 13 with the Germans if I counted right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there. 6 to the armor that attacked the shock unit. 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. From 28 is 13. So I've got 13 left. the Romanians, I really don't like them being in the middle like that. So I think I'm going to drop them back a space. Actually, why don't I just move them 1, 2, 3. 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, they've been useful in assaults, but I don't know if I want them that far south. I think I'll just put them between the 2 cities for now. Like there. Okay, so that's a Romanian. Let's get him off the board. There's my Romanian stuff. The Romanian there. The Hungarian, I think, is fine where he is. Still wondering where his stuff is. I have retreat routes on either side, so I should be okay there. Actually, he can move out of there, can't he? Yeah, we'll have the Hungarian move too. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. And I'm going to spend 1 more point with the Germans and go 1, 2. Just to try and push this guy back. So I'm going to attack him, so I have 4 movement points left. He's at a 0, I'm at a +2. You want to know something? I think I'm just going to go ahead and throw the Russian tanks marker in here and see if I can get an AS on him. Because I don't plan on attacking this turn. And I don't see another attack at Leningrad succeeding. So we're going to go ahead and throw that tanks marker out there. Makes the Russians +2 for this turn. +2 to +2. Let's see what happens. I got a 3. And he got an 8. Definitely a 3 to an 8. Is actually an attacker aborted? I lost a step. I might lose a German unit here. And I'm stopped as well. So, that's the German turn. Everything is in supply. I have to put the Nor unit in supply through the convoy here in a minute. Before I actually officially say I've done supply, I should go check real quick in the med. I don't think there was anything I could do. No, there wasn't anything I could do except do supply. Okay, so I'm supplied up there. I need to go up here. It's got a hell of a lot of sorties in it, but I can't put sorties on it this turn, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a supply marker, low supply marker, and I'll spend 1 sortie to keep the Nor infantry supplied through Sweden over the rails. The Italians, no bad times are coming, but so they're going to have their fleet here do a supply through 24. They're supplying this garrison unit. The British are going to intercept. The British are at +1 net. They're +2 because they're British, -1 for their sortie. The Italians are minus. Oops, wait. Wait. Oh no, it's poor weather. No, the British aren't even going to bother. See, they'd be -1. Yeah, -1 to -3. That's not bad. They'll be -1 to -3 for the escort. So let's see. We're just trying to run up some sorties on the Italians, make their lives miserable for the rest of the summer. So here we go. The British roll at -1 net. A 3. -1 is a 2. Well, that's not good. And the Russians roll, or the Italians roll, a 6. -3 is a 3. So a 2 to a 3 is a diamond. Each take a sortie. I also have to take a sortie on the convoy because the supply gets through. He did not interdict me, so. And then the other 2 are going to be supplied out of Tripoli, out of this convoy. And that's all I need to keep in supply in North Africa, because the other two come out of Tripoli at low supply. And there we go. That is the German turn. I'm going to go ahead and start up the Western operations phase, because I don't think they have a whole lot to do. It is poor weather in the mild zone, so we're going to go ahead and try and do a bomber run. So bomber goes in. He's got me covered wherever I go, so it doesn't matter which city I pick. So I'm just going to pick Dusseldorf. The Germans will be +2 because they're German, and then -2 for the weather, so they're a 0. I am +1 because I'm British, and then -2 for sorties and -2 for the weather. So I'm a -3 and he's a 0. I'm just hoping he rolls low. The Germans roll a 6. That's not low. And the British roll a 3. -3 is a 2, so down to a 1. They just inflicted 3 sorties on me and stopped the bombing run. So we're going to be spending the next couple of months rebuilding our bomber, it looks like. Ouch. And the 6th Luft has defended Germany from the marauding bombers of Bomber Command. That takes care of that part of the turn. The other part is for them to try and push the Afrika Korps. If they get lucky and get a really good hit on the Afrika Korps, things could be dicey for the Italians. We might run them out in the summer instead of having to wait till the fall. So the second air, the BEF activates. There's the British card. The BEF activates for 2. It's going to attack the German Africa, so it's +1 to start for British. The Germans are +2 because they're +2, because they're Germans. I did the airplane that was in the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm +2 for that. I'm +2 for the aircraft. And then I'm going to throw in, I think I have 2 tanks markers. Yes, I do. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a tanks marker to be +5. +5 +2 is about as good as it gets for me, and I have 8 movement points left. So let's see what I get. 4 + 5 is a 9. That's a really good die roll. And the Germans roll a 5 + 2 is a 7. That's also a good die roll. 9 to a 7 is a diamond. So the British are going to repeat that, be the same pluses. That plane will go up to 6 sorties, 1 for the first attack, 1 for this attack. He can't reach any farther than that. That's why I'm using him that way. +5 to +2, and I'm down to 6 movement points. So here we go again. Okay, now I got an 11, Mr. German, and his +2 is 4 + 2 is a 6. So an 11 to a 6, it's just a DR. I was hoping to get a DD. Now, if I move up there with the British and take the hex, I could keep attacking the Afrika Korps, but I'm out of supply. So if the Afrika Korps doesn't retreat, the Afrika Army, I would be in low supply next turn, which would give him a chance to, even with airplanes and tanks, if he throws in a tank, he'd probably have a decent chance of messing with me, forcing me back and getting him into supply. The question is how dangerous do I want to be with the British? I have a lot of time here, so I'm thinking not gonna. It just doesn't make sense really to do that. I don't know. I could attack at +3 twice. +3 to +2. Oh, actually, I have a free forces, don't I? Let me check this. Do I have a free forces? Yeah, I could be +4 next turn. We're gonna go for it. So I'll spend 2 more. We're gonna be bold and crazy, and then I'm gonna play my free forces on this combat, which gives me an extra +1. That's why I use an airplane. So it's +1 for British, +2 for an airplane, +1 for free forces. And the Germans are still +2, so it's +4 to +2. The British roll 5 plus 4 is a 9. I got one of those decent die rolls again. And he rolled a 2 plus 2 is a 4. A 9 to a 4. He managed to just be retreated again. He doesn't have enough movement points to get all the way down there. Don't know if I want to go into the desert or the mountains or back in the clear. I think this gives me the most coverage. Now the British have to make a decision. They have 4 movement points left. They could move forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They wouldn't have an airplane. They don't have their free forces. It's kind of like now I'm starting to get a little too far out for the British. I'm going to roll for the British free forces. I rolled a 1. They're coming back next turn. So I'll be able to use them again next turn. So I think I really don't want to be in low supply, though. That's the thing. And if I move back, then he just goes 1, 2, 3 and ends up in the same spot. So I think I'm just kind of stuck. I have to rethink this. I'm going to go back so I stay in supply. I have to rethink this. I think I have to get a DD on one of the attacks so that he's reduced and then I can chase him down. It's worth being in low supply if all I'm facing are either low supply or garrison units. So they're, they're worse than I am. So yeah, I think we're just going to go back, stay in supply. Not going to do anything else. We're just going to go straight to our supply phase. Oh no, we're going to do one other thing. One other thing, the most important thing for the British to do is to pick up the Force H. And it comes a sailing to 17. And the Italians go, is that an aircraft carrier I see? And it's in 19. And they go, it is an aircraft carrier I see. But they're like, nah, we're not going to intercept it there. And then they go into 22. And this is where they will call an interception because they have an airplane in 22. So their airplane is a net of +1 because it's attacking a navy. The British, and then it's -2 because it's poor weather. And then the British are +2 because they're British, +1 for a carrier in poor weather, then -1 because of the sortie, and -2 for the weather. So it's a -1 to a 0. The Italians don't get much better die rolls than that with their airplane. So they're going to try and maybe see if they can get lucky and get some sorties on this aircraft carrier. So they roll. A 1 with 1 is a 1 minus 1 is a 1. Guess what? Didn't work. And the British roll a 3. That means the plane takes 2. And this takes 1 for combat from that. And now comes the scary part. I could go in at -4 just to make sure that he gets a sortie. He could do 3 sorties on me, which would put me up to 5. If I'm thinking of this fleet here at 51-33, 52-33, it's based in Benghazi. I'd be -4 because of the weather. He would be -1. I really don't want to do 1 sortie to him, so I would have to hope that he rolls like a 3 or less. It's a 50-50 chance that I don't score at least 2 sorties. As it stands now, I can take down... I only have 12 points. So it's going to be, 2 fleets. Yeah, I think I take the chance. So I'm at -4, or I guess I'm the attacker technically, aren't I? So I'm at -4 as the attacker, and he's at +3, -4. It's -1. That come out right? 2 for British, 1 for carrier in poor weather, -2 sorties puts him at +1, and then -2 more for the weather puts him at -1. So yeah, -4 to -1. I can only roll a 1 or a 2, so it doesn't matter. It's a 1. And then what I'm hoping for is that the British will roll a 1, 2, or 3, because then it's only 1 sortie each. And of course they roll a 6. -1 is a 5. 5 to a 1, or 1 to a 5 is an AS2. So I take 2 sorties on this fleet. But all importantly, he gets up to 3, so that when he clears it, he'll still be at least a -1 for me to try and have my airplane do a couple of sorties on him. If I can get him up to about 4 or 5 sorties, I'm doing really good, but the idea there is Force H at 4 sorties is not nearly as scary as Force H at 1 sortie or 2 sorties. So he's going to be at 1 sortie to begin with, so when he does his supply, when he does his replacements. And then he goes into Malta. So enough of this attacking me. Jesus Christ, leave me alone. All right. The British have to do their supply here in Mediterranean. Oh, there was one other move. I forgot this. This first convoy for the Americans. I have American troops coming soon, so I need to get home. So it's 1 into 26. 2 for the canal is 3, and 4 into 31. And then it's 3 more into the... I didn't bring the ship. Why does the ship not pick up with the convoys? The sorties. So 1, 2, 3, 4 into 31. 5, 6, 7 into the Arabian Sea. 8, 9, 10 into the Indian Ocean. Right? And then I'm going to keep going. So that's 1 sortie. And then it's 3 to the South Atlantic. I'm not going to bother to touch the box. But it's 3 into the South Atlantic box. And then it's 3 more into... This is my second move. So then it's 6 into the North Atlantic. And if I remember right, my infantry comes in here. And then 3 into Eastern North America. And I will have 4 sorties. Chink, chink. Okay? That's all basically non-interceptable because I'm running through sea boxes. And then I'm going to go back down here, and I'm going to do something similar with this. I've got 4 convoys hanging around down here that just seems wasteful, so I'm going to move this convoy to the South Atlantic for 3. I'm just going to go back up to the North Atlantic here. It'll be the South Atlantic, the North Atlantic. Where am I? Oops. To the North Atlantic, that's 6. And then I'm going to go into Sea Zone 2 because I want to match up with the fleet that's in Edinburgh. So I'm going to Sea Zone 2, and the Germans go, what the heck, let me use my surface action unit on you, just for kicks. The British are +2 for British. Let's get this right. They're +2 because they're British. Then they're -2 because they're a convoy. And then they're -2 for sorties. And they're -2 for weather, because it's poor weather here as well. And then the surface action unit starts off at a plus... Oh, not that. I'm going to minuses. They start with +1 because they're German, and then -2 for the weather. So a -1 to a -4. I'm trying to get 2 sorties on him, so it takes the British longer to build him back. 6 -1 is a 5, so yeah. The British roll a 3 -4 makes it a 1. So they take 2 sorties. I would take a sortie, but that's the end of the action because he's just going to go into Edinburgh here. That's the end of the action, so 1 sortie for the combat, and I come back in sorties +1 on the turn track. So I come back in 2 turns. So 1, 2, I'll be back with my submarines in August. Okay. And then I go back down here and do the actual supply. I need to keep both planes, Western Desert Force and the BEF, and I'm also going to... I don't think I need to keep him in supply. I think I'm okay without him. So... sortie. Sortie. He goes up 1, and he goes up 1. So a whole lot of people at 2s. Okay, that is the British turn, and I'm just about to come up on my alarm. So this is going to end the second half of the German turn. Gotta turn off my alarm. It's making too much noise. So this is the second half of the German operations. combined with the Western Allies operations. We got all the way through supply of the Western Allies. And then I will make the next chunk of video will be the Russian response to the German operations. So we will pick up there. Okay? So, this has been Dren608. This is Unconditional Surrender. Me, myself, and I play through of the main event. Please leave comments, good or bad. I need to know what I'm doing good, what I'm not doing so well in. And if you like what you see, please subscribe so you don't miss any of the episodes coming up. Like I said, the episodes are probably going to be in 3 parts now because just way too much is going on in clear weather turns for everybody involved. So, thank you for watching my video, and we'll see you with the Russian response in the next part of this episode. Bye-bye.